My name is Margaret Recto. I was born in the Philippines and I came to America when I was about 2.5 years old. My family and I have been in Northern Virginia for almost 20 years. And with the Filipino culture, it's a very strict culture, a little bit. And so growing up, we've always gone to a Christian church, and I grew up actually Church of God, and actually remember sitting in the back pew when I was really, really small, and I would actually just sleep the entire time during services. And I remember one time when I was about 12 years old, I remember actually being awake for the service, and I really felt the call of God to come to the altar. And that day I just felt something totally different going to church, and that's basically when I got saved.
Hi, my name is Jay Recto. I was born and raised in Manila, Philippines, and moved here when I was 8 years old to New York City. Growing up was kind of different for me. We were always instilled that you have to do what you have to do for your family. My parents displayed that from the very beginning. When we were younger, they knew that they wanted to provide a better living environment for us rather than in the Philippines. So they left us with my grandmother for about 2 years while they tried paving the way for us. So growing up, we grew up kind of Catholic, but more so confused because we were kind of back and forth with a lot of different things. So me and my knowledge of God as a child, even to my late teenage years, it wasn't there. At 16 years old, I was a junior in high school. I broke down and I started crying in the back of a church. And I didn't know what for because it was a Spanish service and I completely, don't speak Spanish. I'm not fluent in that language at all, nor do I understand a lot of it. But God definitely spoke through me, or spoke to me about what I was doing in my life. And later on, through different courses, I accepted the Lord, and needless to say, things started to change from there.
My sisters and I were almost like the core team of the youth group, and my youth pastor at that time really helped me develop a lot of things that I didn't even know was inside me about ministry. I remember I really had a moment in my life where I backslid to the point where I don't want anything to do with ministry, and I wanted to go my own way instead of following what God actually wanted me to do. And at that moment, God did something in me, and I started going back to church. And I remember being at that altar, and he clearly said to me, he said, "This is it. You're either going to have this relationship with me and pursue it, or this is it. Like, this is your chance. You need to make up your mind whether you want to be with me or not."
I met a guy, my youth pastor at that time, and he started opening my eyes to a bigger spectrum of relationship, and he really took a place of a father figure in my life. And just him playing that role in my life opened this door of possibilities to my relationship with God, because I now see God as a person that I have a personal relationship with, even when times are rough, regardless of if it's going to be hard to follow you. God, even if it's going to be hard, I'll tell you that it's going to be hard, but I'll still follow.
And so I was in the middle of full-time college, I was working and everything like that, and that's when I just really started pursuing and chasing my relationship with the Lord, and that's when it was the strongest. And I was sitting in church one day, and I had known of Master's Commission before because my sister had gone through it, but when the opportunity came at the church that I was at, I remember arguing with God, like literally by myself, out loud, and said, "Are you serious, God? Like, you want me to drop everything that I'm doing right now in the middle of my education, which my father is so huge on, and join Master's Commission, just give up everything and sacrifice all my education?" And he was like, "Yes." And I was like, "All right," and so at that time, that's probably one of the moments where I can say for sure that God really spoke to me. And there was three things that I always said that I was never going to do. I was never going to go into the ministry. I was never going to marry a Filipino. And I also told myself that I was never going to move to Maryland, only because I had an experience in Baltimore that absolutely scared me. And I would never want to move to Maryland. And obviously he changed all of those things. I went into master's commission with an open heart, and I literally told the director, I don't know what I'm doing here, but I know God called me here. At that moment in my life, everything has totally changed. He brought me a Filipino man that I absolutely love, and our passion, our hearts are for the same thing, is to just really disciple young people and mentor them and be a part of their journey in life.
From then, God totally radically changed my life in so many ways and showed me new things and given me a burden for just young people, to disciple young people and to tell them about the love of God, to teach them about Christ, to teach them that there's so much more to them inside of them, that God's place that can totally change this world. That's what drives me. That's the cause that pushes me. And that's really what brought us here to Hagerstown.